Hello, this is Wojciech Pietrzak again. Yet another game of the Polish League. For those, sorry. For those of you who may be confused about the numbering of rounds in the titles of the videos, I just number them accordingly to the pairing, which is round robin. I skip one number because there is an odd number of players and everybody has one pause. I believe it was third or second round when I was paused. But we don't have to play the games in order of pairing. This pairing is just to enable referring to particular games, probably for the organizer's convenience. Now my opponent doesn't seem very strong, as you see. His record isn't impressive, he's quite new to the game, but of course, as anybody else, he also cannot be ignored. Now what about this hand? Distal is the candidate to hold for 2 turns. Everything else is good, or at least manageable. And I Think Red Scare Perch is the best opening here. Captured Nazi scientist may wait. I will need the gold to repair itself, and I will also probably need to prepare for Nasser before I trigger it. And preferably trigger Nasser before Cambridge 5, so let's make it this way. The goal ASAP, distal close to never. So I have these 2 cards, Special Relationship and East European Unrest, to make up for the damage Nasser does prior to this damage actually. And it would be advisable to do it when Defcon drops. I don't know if everything I want to do is achievable. Now it gets even more complicated because I'm knocked off access to Egypt. But the goal comes with smaller negative impact because Suez would no longer attack France. In this case, Nasser probably isn't so important as an issue. I mean, it still is important. I'm gonna just play it on AR6, hoping for him to play containment for me, and then maybe I'm able to space Nasser. Of course, he isn't thinking so long about making use of Suez because it's forced, but playdeck shows me his move once it's my turn, so after he finishes his AR1 actually. I encountered the fact that my videos are not as commented by you as they used to be, and I would appreciate if you gave me the reason about it. I would just like to know. Okay. Now let's play the goal. Trigger event first. He can't take France due to Red Scare. So let's ensure I have access here in case he rolls a 6 or 4 or more using duck and cover, which is fully possible and would actually be a tricky move. I mean, it's tempting to use duck and cover first to save 1 VP, but then I am the one to have the last coup. Next priorities are probably walking. I need Malaysia, I need to walk to Lebanon, and I should take France. Good luck, but you are probably going to outplay me easily. This is what he wrote. Time will tell. These 2 points in France are somewhat disturbing, and it suggests that he may have Marshall Plan and tries to get rid of it. No. This was a good idea, but I think Iraq deserves more attention. He doesn't have NATO and he doesn't have nuclear test ban because these cards would be played first. Okay, Europe scoring. This is a reason to... I'd feel better with somewhat lower defcon. I would know what to play, but as he doesn't lower defcon, let's just cash this in. So now Europe is scored. I don't want to overinvest France now, hoping for some Truman. Of course, socialist governments follow. What? You're eventing this? Okay, but this takes a lot of pressure off me. Well, there is some logic behind. I mean, by eventing this, he gained 2 victory points. He gained 2 military operations when he is probably hesitant to coup. And this is for cost of a 1-up card because he's purged. But he took a great pressure off me. I'm somewhat, maybe not tempted, but lured to play distal and see how my opponent handles such a dilemma. But I will resist this lure because, well, playing moves which are weak while knowing it is disrespectful. Now, the dilemma is whether to play Nasser and coup Egypt, or play the Cambridge 5, hope for spacing Nasser. I think I'll get rid of Nasser and coup Egypt because there is just too many hopes, like Truman or no socialist governments followed with France takeover, etc. Plus, if he would like to take France, I'm gonna have a coup. Okay, so because duck and cover is gone. Now rat influence where? I don't think I'll go to Canada right now. It's too soon, and I think the better approach is to break Asia, denying him presence in a non-scored region. Middle East scoring. It looks like a good headline. First of all, I don't really have any other good headlines because his events are out of discussion, more or less. Formosan resolution is moot. I'll probably play the China card sooner or later anyway. Olympic Games, unnecessary risk. I don't mean DEFCON risk, there isn't one, but I just don't want to lose these points. And Middle East scoring, I'll have to play it anyway. Nuclear test ban, well, not worth 1 BP for 4 ops. So if I want to hold distal, I have to play the China card because of blockade in my hand. There is no combo with socialists and It's funny to see this event removed. Socialists and France, I was meaning. Now in the map, the priority is Asia now. DEFCON is not nowhere near 4. Asia isn't scored. Korean War is gone. I am close to Thailand and I should make use of it before Decol and Vietnam revolts are triggered. And as I didn't see Decol yet, I think I'm gonna play Fiddle. Just to make CIA unplayable. In which case I might be hesitant to play the China card actually. But on the other hand, this may be the only chance to take North Korea. On the other hand, I somehow can't see how he ignores the North Korean threat now. On the other hand, he already played some moves I wouldn't consider. This was one of them. I mean, I would consider this one, but this one was actually a good one, I think. Okay, then. So... emptying Egypt isn't ideal, but let's say it's good enough. Keeps him busy. Now my next move, if he allows, should be to put one into France and take South Korea. Asia scored, so yeah, one France. Maybe let's do it this way, because the main goal is to deny him from taking France and from taking South Korea, although it looks like he doesn't have a playable 4. Now I probably should take Thailand, and given that I am going to play the China card, I probably should prepare for this by making some step to increase the effectiveness of the China card in Asia. Like, for example, place influence here. Now I'm no longer worried about Indo-Pakistani war, so I think I'm gonna grab Pakistan and India. So next move, China card, Pakistan, India, Korea. Then maybe Formosan to Burma and blockade socialists to Afghanistan. To secure Pakistan? No, it doesn't make sense. Once I decide to take India, I leave one vulnerable country anyway, and without over control it's always more attractive than Pakistan, so wasting point in another country doesn't make sense. And I actually may need this extra point in Thailand. I don't think Indo-Pakistani war was a good choice of the card to play. I mean, it took a lot of pressure off. Containment for space. Oh, and he doesn't have Milops. He may gain still too with Arab-Israeli war, though. And yes, you may say, why China card if he can have CIA? Okay, he can have CIA, he can always have UN intervention. I shouldn't bet everything on DEFCON. But that's not the way this game works. Okay, he's taking Middle East, but still without domination. I feel he has Truman. Not really playable. But let it be wasted. Okay, I can agree to it. Well, actually, no. Let's make him a little worried about it. And let's activate NORAD. And for my last move, tricky. Burma or Thailand? If his last play isn't Truman, I think I'll take this France. On the other hand, over-controlling Syria? Seriously? On the other hand, Norad should take France for me. And yet again he left Asia unprotected. So he has Truman, he has CIA, he has Deco, but even Deco cannot stop my Asia scoring from at least domination. So Asia scoring it is. It may put an enormous pressure on him. And yes, I will have to trigger Middle East scoring, but it costs only 4 now. It is only 4, given how much he invested there and given my assumed lead. As of the rest of my hand, Distal gets UN intervened. Arab-Israeli war. I don't know. It may depend on military ops. Yeah, so Deco saves him at least 3 points in Asia, but not more. And this headline is good anyway because it earns 7 and I couldn't really count on much more. Well, okay, maybe Thailand or maybe Japan. He must play China if he wants to hold both CIA and Truman. Of course, he also may just give me CIA on the AR1. But then, what do you decall? What? Nothing to Asia? And cooing with NATO? Okay. He is just a weak player. So let's take UK just to boost special relationship once it comes. And he left me this opportunity here. Now I'm tempted to fight for equalizing Middle East. Now this is to make sure he doesn't grab any of these. 2 points should be given by... I should get my Milops in Cameroon. China card influence. Yeah, and he took Zaire, okay, but I wasn't able to take Zaire anyway. I mean, I could coup and then he would. So 1, 2, and Thailand, because it's an open battleground, and it will be accessible for him once I play Vietnam Revolts, which I may play this turn. I'm not saying spacing it must be wrong, but cooing looks tempting. Simply tempting. I have Cameroon to coup, I have Nicaragua to coup. You're not even trying. But okay. This is annoying enough, and I don't have time to fight back and forth for Middle East. And yes, now it's very much vulnerable to Muslim revolution. So yeah, he has CIA and Truman, if I'm tracking correctly. I believe I am. I have a giant advantage on VP track, but I should be aware of what may happen later. In Africa, in Central America. Especially this Africa looks somewhat alarming. I probably should also create some better NORAD targets. Obviously, I have quite good targets in case of... This would be ideal for pistol. Okay, here it is. Excuse me. Oh! Oh. So I think I'm gonna play Arab-Israeli war. 5-year plan. Oh yes. I also didn't see this one previously. For Cameroon coup. 50-50. We succeeded. I know Asia is empty by which I mean he doesn't have a presence, and Vietnam gives him presence, but it has been scored already, and stuff is getting more urgent here. And of course, I'm creating ideal targets for Che, but some risks must be taken. Can't be denied. And yes, I gave these two VPs, not giving the other ones. Taiwan? No. Oh, smarter than that. Okay, so Vietnam revolts Nicaragua. Huh, this was high. Alright, this is a great hand. This is an absolutely amazing hand. For starters, grain sales may as well be DEFCON killer for him, due to CIA still in his hand. Usuri grabs the China card back because I'm probably playing China just to grab it with Usuri. ABM treaty, do I have to say anything? Containment, an ideal health card. And it may turn out that holding won't even be necessary, because if I draw anything to grain sales, which I can use for a coup without returning, what is he going to do with CIA? Where is nuclear test ban? It's here. Salt. Okay, salt negotiations may be saving him. And yes, grain sales degrades DEFCON in the headline, so I don't get my NORAD. But ABM treaty makes up for it. Yep, what I said late. Fortunately enough, I rolled high enough to preserve presence in Nicaragua, and Cameroon won't make much difference. It's a 1-point difference in Africa. And it's much more important. I'm quite... Truman. I would love to return it, but I even more would love to degrade DEFCON. So if I have any op to spare, it's going to get into France. Europe scoring. Okay, so maybe not into France right now. I just don't want to see Zaire realigned. Usuri is very likely to regrab the China card. But more to the point, CIA... Okay, let's leave the cards good enough in case I get nuclear subs activated. Now I'd love to prepare some realignments in case I roll overwhelmingly well against Cuba. Two cards I would like to hold, if it ever comes to the next turn, are Allende and Containment. Brezhnev he may have. I don't have breaking targets for NORAD, but one nice target is Thailand. I'm probably not holding defectors, so cooling here looks nice. I'm glad I didn't use Summit. I wonder about the usage of Camp David Accords. Shuttle diplomacy, yeah. Okay, so let's give it another chance. Now it was a much better. I see what he did here. It was quite smart. Now we can break here, but by cooing Colombia successfully, I put him under dilemma. South America's calling. Okay. Okay. So I could play Allende now, maybe. Put one more in the year. Ah. I know I probably shouldn't play this way. Especially if I miscalculated something. And he doesn't lose by CIA. Mm-hmm. With all the respect to my opponent, I feel that he should learn a lot before playing on a really competitive level, or play just for fun as he does, because it's perfectly fine and okay, and well, all right. Assuming he has CIA, he's forced to trigger. Thank you for watching then, and see you next time.